Finance Committee to order. The members present are Kelly Reese, myself, Jim Sullivan, and Bev Green. Also present is Jeff Miller, Mayor Cindy Billings, and Scott Barney, Fiscal Officer. First order of business is to select a chair for the Finance Committee.
I'd like to nominate Jim Sullivan.
Second.
All in
You're willing to
favor?
do it again?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess?
I guess so. All right. All those in favor of me being the chairman again, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So, okay. On the agenda is the police facility funding feasibility, reserves, and streetlights. And this, the advertising didn't make the agenda.
No.
We can talk about it as far as budget's concerned. Let's go in reverse order here. So talk about these streetlights first. We get the short ones out of the way. Last year we had a discussion about the light poles needing replaced. Scott investigated where we'd come across a source that was willing to replace the poles and as long as they could earn the savings that we would normally get with all the lighting and everything.
Just one change to that.
Go ahead.
They would put the light bulbs in.
They would
Put a new pole on the lamp.
Okay.
They would do that part. The posts we'd have to.
Still our responsibility to get the posts. They would put the bulbs on. If I remember correctly, the whole unit was about $700.
Well, I don't know what, then Enertech, who I've listed here, gave us the program and the savings and what they would take and what we would get. Main Street lighting that I have on here is just the poles.
Right.
And the lamps.
Right.
And there was the cost of the post itself is approximately $1,000.
Okay.
And how many do we have to replace?
It's been too long.
We have about 113 of the village to decorate.
113 decorative
From,
poles.
But downtown,
but downtown, I think there was about 20,
yeah, I was gonna say.
21, something like that. And then depending where they went with the metal halide or the LED lights, it was $512 or $719.
Right. And then the question is how many were needing replaced right away, or as soon as possible?
Probably about half.
Yeah, that's a good estimate.
Do you remember, Nate?
I don't know,
Yeah,
I had given that information, I have it back at the shop, I don't have it with me right now.
yeah.
I would say at least half, that's my guess. Some of them have already been replaced, you know, they've been
They get
hit.
hit and stuff.
Yeah, they got hit and stuff, so some of them have been replaced, but not very many of them. Does that price, that includes installation and everything, right?
No, that's the price for the,
That's just the poles. Did they give you a price for installation?
no.
We haven't got that
I know
far.
the
Okay,
phase, yeah.
okay.
No, that was just the price for the poles. I know when they've been hit before in neighborhoods, and Ohio Edison, they would be the ones that replace them.
Yeah, they're the ones that replace them for us.
And, you know, we're a good $2,500 to $3,000 to pay them for replacing the lights.
But did they didn't supply the poles?
Yeah, they supplied.
That's everything.
Oh, that's everything. So theirs was about $3,000, correct?
And the price on the sheet here is about $1,600 for the highest, and then
Without the installation.
without the installation.
Yeah, right.
So if the installation is less than 1,400 per pole,
Yeah.
which I would hope.
Let's continue on with the rest of this study.
The energy savings part,
Yeah.
and do you have your paperwork from?
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be another cost to the village. It's a 15-year program. The idea is we would pay them, but it would be based on the,
We pay them our
Savings.
savings.
they would do all the maintenance.
Do we have any idea what our savings is, what savings is possible?
So the savings to us would be about $6,400
A year
a
or
year.
total?
Annual savings.
So, yeah, this is based on the idea that they're gonna replace all the light,
All the lights would be, right.
so LEDs and such. And then they're
But
in
that's
charge.
plus, that 64
No,
That does not include a pole.
does not include a pole. That's what I wanna know. So that's an additional $1,000 of our cost.
It's really two different issues.
yeah,
You know, it's just, if you're gonna put a pole and you want to do this program, there's no sense buying a light and then do the program because they're gonna replace the light anyways.
The light being the lamp on
Yeah.
here.
Right,
Yeah.
the top part.
Got it.
So I just came across both these at about the same time,
And it's a
Right.
15-year deal.
15 years, yes. So, we'd save a few bucks, but we don't have to worry about anything
right.
over the 15 years. After that, any savings is ours, so.
Any maintenance is ours then too?
mhm. Now, again, if someone hits the pole, we're still responsible for that pole, you know.
But they'll replace the light fixture if that is, in
I
that
believe
case.
they would replace the light fixture.
Scott, is there a guarantee on the pole at all? Is there a guarantee?
Oh, I don't know the,
Okay.
I don't
Is it
have
fiberglass?
details, pardon me?
Are they fiberglass poles?
Let's see.
They have a couple different kinds.
Is that right?
The
Yeah,
ones
there
I've
was.
looked at.
Now, this was back in July, so I don't really.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Because the problem is with fiberglass, they will shrink over time and crack.
Yeah, they had both
Okay.
types, so,
I don't know if they're better in the long run or
but the
not.
metal ones are gonna rust.
I know,
So-
well, I don't know, do they make aluminum ones? I might not be heavy enough, I don't know.
Yeah, that might not.
You know, or stainless.
Yeah, so-
And if
Stainless,
it's
I can imagine
stainless-
what they
Oh,
cost.
absolutely, yeah,
Stolen.
yeah. Yeah, you're talking big bucks there.
Yeah.
So the first question, let's put the polls aside first. The program for the energy savings. This particular company would go through, swap out all the bulbs and everything, earning a savings. The program is that we pay, they calculated what we pay right now as an expense for the, for lighting. they replace everything to earn discounts against all that lighting, or reduce the spend on that lighting, and then they take that lighting for a 15, or that discount for a 15-year period.
But our electric bill stays the same then?
Well, no, our electric bill goes,
I mean,
our
it's just
electric
a
bill will go
savings.
down.
It's a wash, yeah. That's the way I look at it.
You know, if we had $100 electric bill, and I guess they're assuming we pay $50 now.
But we'd
We
still have to
pay
pay
them,
50
I pay
then.
40 to them, we'd keep 10, you know, so,
But we'd have all the lights.
I mean, we,
Yeah.
yeah, so. We could do the same thing.
Yeah, the
If
difference
someone
is
go out,
that they're assuming
got-
a
they
maintenance
invest
of a
money.
15-year period,
Mhm.
whereas if we go through and we change out all the bulbs on our own, and we have all that time and effort and money invested in all the bulbs, plus all the maintenance for, for that time period, so. Or we keep going like we are. And as one blows out, one burns out, we just start replacing them with LEDs.
Yeah, I was talking to Nate about that, I don't even know. Nate, you've never changed one of the bulbs in the
No, Edison changes those. I'm not sure what's involved with
And I
balances
don't-
to be changed or anything like that. I'm
I've
not
talked to
sure.
them about,
So,
hey, why don't you put LEDs out on all the light poles, that's not gonna happen.
No, okay.
And I got some information from them, but,
They'll put in the cheapest of whatever they can, and they don't.
Plus we pay for it.
yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
And we did have another company in, and showed us the lights for the post, but, and they had a program with Ohio Edison, so they could change them. It was Enertech will not do anything with Ohio Edison's lights.
The regular.
This company would, and can put new lights on, they were about $2,500 a pop. And when they burn out, you just put a whole new unit.
Yeah, that was the bad part, they were involved in it for a while and then
So
it was us,
Yeah. Yeah. Any thoughts, questions, concerns, recommendations?
So this prep plan pays for the light fixtures, the tops,
right?
Yep.
and then you save in your electric cost, correct?
yes.
That's the thing. So that alone, right now our estimates are 500 a unit or 719 units, so we would not have to pay that. We would just pay for
Can I ask a
this.
question too? What does that do for the brightness of each individual light? I mean, LEDs are normally significantly brighter than the rest, right? So we would probably notice significant increase in the brightness along the streets?
I think just changing those tops, even if they put the same thing, would be brighter, because they just look like they're.
They're on this sheet here, it says the lighting performance today is poor, tomorrow will be excellent. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
what
mean,
that
so I mean, it
means.
would be a safety factor as well as a savings.
Correct.
let me ask you this, if it's brighter, is there something that needs to be done to study it if we need as many?
It's a good call.
Because downtown, holy cow, them things are close.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Also, how does it work if we do only 10 now and 10 later?
They would come in and do the whole program here, so I got 300
If we
fixtures.
do this, we have to do it.
Yeah, it's an all or nothing.
Yeah, they
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
They got 300 fixtures, they went down to the street garage, wastewater treatment plant.
He was everywhere.
The other lights, so everywhere they saw that they could replace a light bulb and have a savings, yeah, they put it into play. So he said he found 300.
So what's a substantial amount of poles we have to buy?
No, that wasn't,
That was everything. It's
That's
not
That
just
was-
bulbs.
lights.
bulbs like in here and
Oh.
bulbs at the, yeah,
Make safety lighted street garage.
yeah,
All right, I misunderstood.
that would be a lot of poles.
That would be. a
Yeah,
lot.
that's like, I thought, oh my God, there's no way.
300 fixtures.
That's what I wanna know is the number of poles we have.
Mhm.
But we can switch out just the lights on the poles if we don't need to replace the poles, correct?
Yeah, that's all they're gonna
True.
do is the lights.
So if we only replace 10 poles, because those.
If we
are
only
the ones that
replace
need
the
it,
poles we think need it.
correct. And then let them replace the fixtures on whatever they deem appropriate, up to 300 it looks like.
However many they want to do.
But as long as the poles are in good shape, we don't have to switch those out.
Now, a question, and you probably might not know this, but say 5 years down the road, we're in this 15-year lease, okay? And we have poles that need replaced, different ones than we originally bought. We'd still have to, because they're maintaining them.
Not the poles, they're maintaining the lights.
The light fixture.
Okay. All right.
We're pretty much stuck with the poles.
Right. I think that piece is a good idea for the cost savings. I think what we just need to decide is how many poles. My only concern is kind of what Nate just said, is if how bright is it, and do I still need the same number of poles uptown?
I would love to see those poles myself.
So it's almost like let them switch them out, and then I'll figure out my pole issue.
Well, I think what you need to do is replace the ones that you know are totally bad.
And at risk, that
And
are
at risk.
at risk.
That's correct. And then, once they do the lighting, we see how they are,
And
and
just-
then adjust as they, we can, because they're in concrete, so it's gonna be some, yeah.
But can we remove lights from the program once we sign up for the program? If we eliminate light poles? If they sign it, if we have the contract for say 300 lights, if that's the number, and we eliminate some light poles, now we're down to 280, will they take those 20 lights out of the, because they would be losing money as well.
Right, we might have to still make them the same payment, I don't know.
That's a big question. I think if we wanted to reduce lights, it's something we'd have to look at before they did them.
I just don't think
Maybe
there's
to
gonna
some
be
degree.
that many.
Oh, there might not be, but I was just, if you've got a contract, you're making X amount of dollars, and somebody changes it, you don't wanna lose money
I
because
mean, just
somebody else
counting
changes
300,
it.
just look at this room alone right now.
And they probably wouldn't change anything in here.
Perfect.
They need 8 hours of use.
Oh, right.
Say that again.
They basically
Minimal.
need 8 hours of use a
Okay.
day. So, closet lights and that type of thing, they're not gonna forward.
In this report, they showed 21 street poles.
That's the downtown one.
It does have like Scott's office on here,
Yeah.
clerk's office, the file room.
Yeah, because they're in.
Mayor's office.
So they would be changing out all the fixtures in Village Hall here except for these. like the hall lights and so on and so forth. And they would be replacing them with, what is it that they replace those with?
Whatever LED light thing.
LED,
Mhm.
which means I wouldn't have to be changing bulbs so often.
And we already did the hallway, I mean, those two big fixtures.
Right, yeah, we did those.
Yeah,
And
they
they're
have,
really bright.
they have the
Yeah,
app,
but you haven't changed one since then.
Exactly, that's what I mean, they're really bright and I
Yeah.
haven't changed it, it's
Yeah.
great.
they have admin building conference room, there's 44 bulbs in here. So about 344.
They put LEDs in here, we've gotta put a dimmer on it, cause we'll none of us be able to see to read these papers. It'll be that bright. I mean, I'm dead serious, I do LED lights all the time.
Mhm.
I know exactly what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be pure white, unless they put soft whites in or something like that, 2500s or 27s maybe, but it'll be bright.
Because there's a lot of lights in here.
But you can get a tan.
Well, that is true, I mean,
65 watts.
but it's pure white, like these are yellow. These
It's a
exact
different
lights
light,
are
yeah.
yellow, those pure
I
white
get
LED lights. So it depends on the grade, it could be 25, 27, 35, 4,000 K, it could be,
2,974.
So I think what we're talking about here is, it's a program that they say they can save save money on the amount of electricity paid, but they want to receive that savings for a 15-year period. And the question is, do we do it or do we not? For us, I mean, I look at it and say that the cost didn't change.
Right.
All they did was put in a bunch of new bulbs. And so for 15 years, Nate doesn't have to worry about changing them. That's what it comes out, that's the bottom line, I guess.
Did they have any other municipalities that had been in this program? That we could ask how their services?
Village of Lowellville. They have a couple townships, Austin Township, Boardman Township. That's all I have on this one sheet here. I know they have other places, that was just the referrals he gave me.
Any thoughts on this? Want to table it?
I feel like we should make a next step on it, though. What's the next?
Well, the next step would be probably to have them in to explain it.
I would almost appreciate that.
You could at least ask them.
Because right now, just looking at the paper, I mean, it looks like they're estimating that you're gonna, we spend $10,224, and with changing out the fixtures and the bulbs, it'll be $2,356, which is where they're getting their savings from.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you look at even the price, if I would switch out the lamps, those are $500 to $700 per unit over here, if I switch out the light bulb. So that's a savings as well. So it sounds like there's savings opportunities, it's just the 15 years, and to your point, what's the light look like?
Can we set up some kind of meeting to meet with them and have them explain this a little bit?
Yeah, they'll come out.
What's the closest municipality that's done this?
I
Is
don't
it
know,
Austin
closest, all I know
Township
is
or
that he
Boardman Township is ones he has?
Yeah.
Wherever Lowellville, Ohio is a
You do a
village.
field trip.
Boardman Township,
And drive for an hour.
I'll drive separate.
Austin Township.
Yeah, I think just the next step is to have them come talk to us.
We're all 330 area codes, so.
Still Ohio.
Yeah.
They're east.
About 30 minutes or so.
Scott, can you just give him a call and see what you can arrange for a presentation? Then we'll go from there. Next item is, one backwards, is the reserves. Scott, you want to discuss that?
Yeah, well, we didn't do anything specifically in the budget. They gave me some revised equipment numbers here, but I need some more years out. So budget-wise, I mean, that is part of our ordinance and plan, so I'm just, so I can plan things out the rest of the year. And I know you were talking to Nate about the additional truck. I just need to make adjustments and know what we're gonna do and, you know, when to anticipate setting aside our reserves. And, you know, to the street, the accrued sick leave, and then whatever we may do with the credit elimination money. I won't know those numbers until, I'm gonna say beginning of June. Tanya's done a nice job of getting with our software people, and each return that comes in, we have a spot to put in the credit. That's the only way we're gonna be able to figure out, as we're going through each individual tax return. So by then, I'll know how much came in from the credit elimination.
As far as the truck was concerned, we were gonna review that after the snow season. So, coming up here in March, April timeframe, is that all right with you?
Yeah, it is, I'll try to get some figures together. We got,
Yeah, include an evaluation of the truck too.
sure.
All right. Item number 1, police facility funding.
So one of the concerns was,
One of our council people brought up was being able to pay the debt. So I wanted to try and address that. I've been looking at a number of different programs to see if we could get any grant money. Haven't found that yet,
Only if you're,
so. I did come across with the USDA, I talked to them. And they have a USDA community loan program. And what makes this feasible is, right now their rate is 2.75% on the loan. So we have a loan with our wastewater treatment plant through them. That's how we put that together. But they'll do it for other facilities and equipment. The nice thing about this is you can do it for 4 years.
What was the rate again?
Right now it's 2.75%. Once you lock in, it won't go up, it will go down. We were fortunate on our wastewater treatment plant to have that happen. So the debt service on that, I have the $2 million to $2.5 million building here. With our debt service costs on it, $2 million would be around $83,000. On 2.5 million, it'd be $103,000. So, not taking into consideration the credit money we're getting, or increasing income tax, could we do it? We have the Lake Schools Agreement, that changed in 2019, the term in years and the amount we're refunding. Now I'm looking at, by the time we plan a building, issue the debt, usually a year later before you start making any payments, or around 2022, 2023, before we make a payment. By that time, our contribution, our revenue sharing back to the schools is at 5%. So we're gonna be saving $60,000 a year by that time in the money. So right now, in 2020, I'm projecting we'll save about 30,000 with it going down to 25%. So by the time we get down to 5%, I'm looking at increased wages at the schools. We'd be bringing in, or having additional revenues here of $60,000. We got a property tax increase, just from, construction and valuations. But right now, the new numbers I got last month was 166,000. We received 147,000 last year. So we have about another 20,000 there. Our interest earnings have been doing well. We had 31,000 last year. I'm just saying, well, we could take 10,000 of that. That alone would fund the debt service, should you proceed. And if there was any other issues, we're not taking any new increase in income taxes, not using the reserve, so everything operational wise would, we'd be able to fund still. And we always have the gas tax monies in there, that's gonna reduce the burden on the general fund. So it's feasible. My recommendation would be to come up with a plan so we can pay it off in 20 years. Obviously, it doesn't reduce your efforts to bring in new money for the operations and streets and
This doesn't take into consideration raises or cost of living increases.
that's why I'm not taking anything away from the income tax base, which is where our main revenue source is. So we've looked at the income, increasing the income taxes, levies. Short of saving up and paying cash, which really wouldn't happen. This is one of the better options I've come up with.
Haven't seen a general fund projection. We usually do a 5 and 10 year or a 5 year at least.
Yeah, I'll have to put one of those together.
Yeah. It's normally 5 years, and is it just 5 years, or is it?
The projections, are 5 years. I ran it out 20 years, a couple years ago, just to show income tax wise, and
Right,
then we'd run out of money without anything.
right. You have that, you still have that ability to, 20 year,
That's that 20 year.
because that would line up with this, we're looking at a 20-year repayment process period.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because that debt service cost per year, that's a 40-year, correct?
That is at 40 years.
Okay.
And it can be paid off early, no fees or anything involved. Which I hope would be the plan. That we, you know.
Like you said, pay it off in 20, take the 40, pay it off in 20.
Yeah, you know, with increased money, that's what we would look at doing in the first place, so.
That's what we're doing with the sewer. We took the.
We have 40 years.
40 years,
Sewers.
we've scheduled for 20.
We aren't paying down anymore on the debt right now. We're redoing lines, getting all those done. So over the next decade, once we get all those done, then we'll start repaying down the loan
Okay.
before we have to remodel again or add another tank.
Right.
And none of this even includes the monies we're getting from the tax credit today.
Correct.
So it's only monies that would have already,
I'm just looking at new monies
just
that have.
increases that'll pay for the payment every month.
Right. But it's approximate.
Right.
They don't, you know, there's no significant impact on our income tax covering the operations of the village.
Okay. Any questions, concerns?
Did a great job with this guy, by the way. Great
Thank
job.
you.
I think if we get a 5 and 20, we can line this up and see how it works.
And I think what Scott said is it doesn't take away that we still have to raise money, especially if you want to pay it off in 20.
Right.
That part does not change.
I mean, we're, you know, it's like we have been operating.
Yep.
You know, here, these are just coming available to us.
Right.
You know, we have more money invested now because we built up our reserves. But I only took 10,000 of it, and that's what we had an increase in last year. So we're not even using all the investment money. Just, just new money coming to available to us.
Okay. Good job.
Thank you.
You're a lot better than that.
Any other questions, concerns? Scott, do you have anything budgetary to talk about?
No, I mean, when I said budget, the reserves were kind of
Yeah.
the main part of that.
Okay.
Hey, Scott, you, just so you know, the whole police department would like to say thank you too. We live this every day. I mean, this is like the most exciting thing we've heard in years. I hope the rest of you find it equally exciting. I mean, the greatest liability thing the insurance companies said we face right now just got answered, and no cost. I mean, certainly there is a cost, but no impact to the current budget of the village. I mean, it's great job. I certainly hope everybody thinks about it. I mean,
Thank you. It's an opportunity. And doing the best we can.
yeah, this would be the best thing we can do for the morale of the police department, probably historically.
I'll work on that 5-year forecast and
Okay.
20.
And then we'll schedule it.
20 becomes kind of meaningless. It's just, you know,
Yeah, I understand, but
the 10 is.
the 10's the most important one, actually. The 10's even though it's, even though it's projected out there, it does give us a look at declining balances.
Right, I think one of the things though is continue to come up with that funding.
Right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It was,